I'm a guy with a lot of ideas in my head, and here's why I love using Miro to guide my idea execution process. A few years ago, I had a very serious disease. Many people have it, and many people don't even realize that they have it until it's far too late, and it might cost tens of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars to fix. It's called the idea bug. It's thinking that having the idea is 90% of the work, and 10% of the work is just everything else, like marketing and making it happen, like, practical stuff like that. And unlike other things that I've mentioned that don't have a cure, there's absolutely a cure for the idea bug. And it's about creating better execution processes so you can make that idea a reality. You got a crazy idea? Great. Miro is what I use to get those crazy ideas on paper so I can work those details out. The first reason why I love Miro is because of its sticky notes. It seems like a small thing, but it really isn't. I use the sticky notes religiously for a lot of things for my thesis, like the fact that I need to do a bunch of customer interviews. I find it that having a sticky note format makes the interviewing less like a script and more like actually trying to get to know the person that I'm talking to. So by the end of all my customer interviews, I have this big murder mystery-esque thing that I can then use to draw that red yarn to that one thing that one person said and that other person said. It's incredibly elegant the way I'm able to combine ideas like that, especially if I have no idea how it's going to turn out from the very beginning. By the way, if you're not quite at the stage of customer interviews yet and you want to take your ideas to the next level, so to speak, one step above of just, hey, I have a crazy idea, is to make a one-pager, which you're basically breaking down everything that your thing is on one page. Unsurprisingly, I do this in Miro. And so I just describe what it is that I'm proposing, how do you use it, what are the steps that the user needs to do in order to take advantage of the value that you bring them, and what does it cost, and how do people get involved with it. And so if you can concisely describe all those things on one page, that's a killer way to really introduce this idea to potential people that might be interested so you can get real feedback on it. And I mean real feedback because if you have something that's super duper polished, people don't want to offend you. And I guess people recognize when people spend a bunch of time on making something look really, really good. And so this one pager is really, really janky by design so that people can be brutally honest when you ask them about their thoughts and opinions and whether or not this thing will actually practically work out. I spent way too much time on sticky notes, but I really, really love the sticky notes in Miro. So I guess my love for the sticky notes is well proportioned in this video. The second reason why I love using Miro so much is because of the mixed media potential. So I did this animation a few weeks back, and one pivotal part of it was me trying to get the inspiration as to how certain things are supposed to play out. And that's not really something you can really describe by, printing out a bunch of things or God forbid, copying and pasting GIFs inside a Google Doc and hoping that they play correctly. Miro makes that so much better because I was able to be like, I like this part of that animation. I like that part of my animation. And I can relay that to my supervisor and she can be like, oh, that was really great. And so it just makes the project it just makes the ideation process of whatever project you're working on, especially if it involves a lot of mixed media, it makes that process so much easier. The third reason why I love Miro so much is the project management potential. Now, I know there are things that like Monday.com that already exist, and Monday.com or even Google Sheets, they're pretty great project management tools because you can make them pretty customizable. But I always found them a bit intimidating because it's I'm writing this thing in stone that I don't necessarily know all the details of what job I might be doing until I'm doing it. And so having something that's light and lean in Miro can really help me in that process because it's just a sticky note, right? If I have a process that I realize I missed a step, I can just make a new sticky note. It's a very concise way for me to do some prototyping with the project management process, especially when I don't necessarily know all the details of a specific project I'm working on. Or better yet, because I can share my Miro board, I can basically communicate to my supervisor that I am on this step of the process and we don't need to go on Slack or something and communicate back and forth. They're like, hey, did you get this done? Yeah, I did. It's oh, where is it? It's oh, I put it in the Google Drive. It's where is it? There's none of that. I can just put it all in Miro. It's pretty great. The fourth reason why I love Miro so much is because of the infinite workspace. I have this one document in Miro for my thesis. It's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. These are gigantic sticky notes, and there are these tiny sticky notes that you almost can't even see when you're zoomed all the way out. And it gives me this perspective of like, okay, where am I in the process real quick? Am I at phase 1, 2, 3, or 4? And what immediately needs to get done? I can just zoom in as far as I can. And if I can't zoom in anymore, I can just make everything bigger. There really isn't a limit to what Miro can do. At least I haven't managed to hit that limit yet. So, knock on wood. The fifth reason why I love Miro so much is because of the collaborative and the co-creative experience. A few months ago, I reached out to this electric skateboard building forum because I want to build a new electric skateboard for reasons I'll probably discuss in a future episode. The point is, I needed help deciding on parts and who to buy from and all that. I just created this board where I just have a link where anybody can go in and edit. They don't even have to have a Miro account. And they can just suggest whatever it is that I'm wondering about. Moreover, the visual aspect of that co-creative process where I'm basically having strangers help me build a skateboard feels really special because I can point an arrow to that specific component and be like, oh, yeah, this is my recommendation for that. Or, hey, have you thought about this? And I can quickly get people's opinions on what it is that I want to build and what is the best way of going about it. Back to customer interviews, I really like the fact that for some of them, I can just give my people a link and they can go to it and they can see the thing that I prototyped, that one pager, and they can immediately contribute to it because they can see it. It's amazing, I think, because it makes that experience so much better when it comes to creating the right thing. So those are the 5 reasons why I love Miro so much. What do you guys think? Do you see Miro in your life as the thing that you want to add to your toolbox? Do you think it's redundant? Let me know down in the comments down below. Anyway, I think that Miro it's unsurprising. I like Miro. I think that Miro is an excellent tool because it's so easy to create things nowadays. It's not that hard to get a 3D printer and to 3D print stuff, but it's really hard to create the right thing. And I hope that Miro can be that stepping stone for you to go from idea to execution by helping you create the right thing. All right, my name is David the Futurist, and I'll see you guys in the future.
One of the things that really hurt Apple was after I left, John Sculley got a very serious disease. And that disease, I've seen other people get it too. It's the disease of thinking that a really great idea is 90% of the work. And that if you just tell all these other people, here's this great idea, then of course they can go off and make it happen. And the problem with that is that there's just a tremendous amount of craftsmanship in between a great idea and a great product.